Hello, Year 2. This is Friday's guided reading lesson. We're leaving behind non-fiction for a moment and we're going to be looking at a storybook called Charlie. Let's have a read. In a sky of blue, above a sea of green, lived a playful young cloud named Charlie. More than anything, Charlie wanted everyone to notice what a special cloud he was. He'd roll himself into a rocket ship and soar up as high as he could go. He'd ruffle his edges and spiral down like a snowflake. He even tried writing his name across the sky. The only trouble was, no one noticed. The clouds would simply shake their heads and float on by. Disappointed, Charlie drifted over the village. From up high, he could see children playing and animals grazing in the fields. I know how I can get their attention, Charlie grinned. Extending a long, bumpy tail and sprouting a knobbly neck, Charlie became a dragon charging across the sky. Still, no one paid any attention. On kite flying day, Charlie placed himself right in the middle of all the kites. But still, nobody noticed him. In fact, no matter what fantastic impressions he did, no matter what great tricks he performed, no one ever noticed Charlie. Charlie let the trade winds carry him out far to sea. I guess I'm not so special after all, he sighed. Drifting down, Charlie took a long, cool drink from the sea. And as he drank, he began to get bigger. Wow, cried Charlie, I'm going to grow as big as I can, then everyone will notice me. Charlie kept drinking until he stretched to the horizon and billowed up over the mountain tops. When the people in the village saw the enormous cloud, they ran into their houses, shut the windows and locked the doors. The animals were so frightened, they huddled under the trees. Even the birds flew away. Charlie tried to shout, "Don't run away, it's me, Charlie." But his voice sounded like the rumbling of thunder. Charlie was so heavy, his bulging belly scraped across the mountain tops, causing great spears of lightning to stab the hills and fields. Charlie began to feel cold and lonesome. From the corner of his eye, a small drop of water squeezed out. From the other eye, another drop slipped out. A storm of tears gushed from Charlie's eyes. The more he cried, the smaller he shrank, until there wasn't a single tear left, and Charlie fell into a deep sleep. For a while, all was quiet. Suddenly, a voice rang out from below. "Look at that beautiful little cloud." Charlie opened his eyes and looked all around. There were no other clouds in the sky. All the people in the village, the animals, the birds, even the sun and the mountains were smiling at him. Charlie looked down at his reflection in the water. Why is everyone smiling at me, he wondered. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just being myself. A soft voice from deep within Charlie answered, "Being yourself is the most special thing you can be." And that's the end. Right, we'll have a look at the questions now, and we'll think about the different skills we are using. So the first question, you've got a little bit of inference to do. What does Charlie want at the start of the story? And then for number 2, you've got some summarising to do. So you've got to put the shapes in order. So the first one's done for you. It's a rocket ship first. And then you need to think about what comes next. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and what would be number 5. For this bit, you have got a bit of grammar to do. So it says to read the sentence here. Charlie kept drinking until he stretched to the horizon and billowed up over the mountain tops. You need to find the 3 verbs in that sentence. Remember, verbs are doing words. So think about the 3 things that Charlie is doing in that sentence. For question number 5, it asks you, why does Charlie start to cry. So again, it's a bit of an inference, thinking about how he's feeling. Why does he start to cry? Don't just say because he's sad. Have a think about why. What's happened in the story. Number 6, you've got a bit of visualising to do. So it's asking about what you think about this. The end of the story says, being yourself is the most special thing you can be. Do you agree or disagree? And again, why do you think that? Make sure you explain your answer fully. And then finally, the last question is, if you were a cloud like Charlie, what sort of shapes would you want to make? And again, why? Why would you choose those shapes? Right, as always, send your answers to your teachers on eSchools, and we'll see you again for the next time. Bye.